A lot going on in the baseball world. Free agency officially started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So players or teams can begin to sign free agent players. They can also begin to start trading again. So keep an eye on all of that. Now it's not really until the winter meetings time in December-ish, early to mid-December, where a lot of these big name free agents and trades all start to go down. So there will be signings, there will be trades until then most likely, but the bigger names that everybody knows of, if you're not well versed in the Major League Baseball scene, that usually all happens around that time in December-ish and after. And with free agency starting yesterday, it was also the deadline to extend qualifying offers to certain free agents. I believe there was 13 total issued around Major League Baseball. The Phillies offered 2 to their big free agents, Kyle Schwarber, Ranger Suarez. Each extended a qualifying offer yesterday on Thursday. That is a 1-year, $22.025 million contract. They must accept or reject that qualifying offer, which would mean they just stay a free agent if they do reject it by November 18th. So 10, 12 so days for that decision. Both expected and likely to reject that qualifying offer just to keep on testing the free agent market, try to land a multi-year deal, potentially more money as well than that 22.025 mark. So a team that does end up signing either of them or the other players issued extended qualifying offers around Major League Baseball. Draft pick compensation is attached to those players, so a team that does end up signing any of those players, including Schwarber and Suarez, will forfeit a 2026 draft pick selection. Now, the actual selection has multiple factors deciding what kind of round or pick that is, but still, that happened yesterday on Thursday. The Phillies also reportedly signed outfielder Brian De La Cruz to a minor league deal yesterday as well. He's a 28-year-old right-handed hitter. He's mostly a corner outfielder. He does have experience in the major leagues at center field as well, but mostly left and right field. He was with the Marlins from 2021 into the 2024 season. He was traded during the 2024 season to the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then he played 16 games with the Atlanta Braves this past year in 2025. He's a career 251 hitter, 58 career home runs, 208 career RBIs since debuting in 2021 with the Marlins. Welcome into Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. You guys are much appreciated. Couldn't do this without you. So continue to show the love and follow along for all things and everything Philadelphia Phillies. Now, yesterday, the National League Silver Slugger Award winners were announced for 2025. The Phillies had 2 finalists. Kyle Schwarber was the finalist for the designated hitter in the National League for a Silver Slugger, and Trey Turner was the finalist, one of the finalists for the shortstop position in the National League. Both Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber did not win the 2025 Silver Slugger Award at the respective positions. Now, for shortstop in the National League, Diamondbacks shortstop Geraldo Perdomo, he won the 2025 National League Shortstop Silver Slugger Award. And then Los Angeles Dodgers superstar designated hitter Shohei Ohtani, there's really no question about that. He won it for the DH role in the National League for 2025. Perdomo had a great year for the Diamondbacks. So he hit 290, 33 doubles, 5 triples, 20 home runs, 100 RBIs. He led the National League with a 7 WAR among all position players, so a great offensive year for Perdomo, well deserved for him for that award. Trey Turner, however, he was the 2025 National League batting champion. He had the batting title with an NL leading 304 batting average, 31 doubles. He had 7 triples, 15 home runs, and 69 RBIs in 2025. He obviously missed some time as well, but still a good year by Trey Turner overall. Kyle Schwarber, a tremendous season as well. He's a 2025 National League MVP finalist. Not going to win it, most likely the runner-up, but he had a 563 slugging percentage in 2025 with a 928 OPS, 56 home runs, National League leading 56 home runs, and a Major League Baseball leading 132 RBIs for Kyle Schwarber. But we all know Shohei Ohtani, he is the favorite by far to win the 2025 National League MVP award. So it really wouldn't make sense for somebody else to win the National League Silver Slugger at the DH position over Ohtani if he's going to be the MVP for his amazing season he had. So Kyle Schwarber, he was a finalist for Silver Slugger, didn't win it with Ohtani winning it. And then obviously Both are in the MVP mix for the National League, and Ohtani's also going to beat out Kyle Schwarber in that regard as well. But still, credit to Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber for amazing, tremendous offensive seasons in 2025. Don't have any hardware to show for it, but still very deserving for them to be in the conversation, and just a tremendous season they both had for the Phillies. Other news that came out yesterday as well on Thursday, Don Mattingly. He is being linked to the Phillies as a potential new bench coach for them starting in 2026. They're interested in him. They're trying to bring him here to Philadelphia, according to reports. He is not returning to the Toronto Blue Jays, where he served as their bench coach since 2023. He obviously was there for their World Series run this past year in 2025, ultimately lost to the Dodgers in Game 7. He's not expected to retire, though. He wants to pursue other opportunities. Again, Phillies are interested in bringing Don Mattingly in as a new bench coach. He managed the Dodgers from 2011 to 2015. He also spent time coaching them, hitting coach from 2008 to 2010. He managed the Marlins, you guys might remember, for more recently, 2016 to 2022, before he joined the Blue Jays as a bench coach there. He also coached the Yankees, not managed, he was a coach with the Yankees from 2004 to 2007. So he's been coaching and managing all for a very long time, for the past 20 or so years now. He also had a very good playing career with the New York Yankees. He's played that for them all 14 years of his major league career, from 1982 to 1995. He was a 6-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glover, 3-time Silver Slugger. He won the batting title in 1984 with a .343 batting average, and he was also the 1985 MVP with the Yankees. Also, shout out to Don Mattingly. He is being reconsidered for the Hall of Fame for the 2026 class. He is on the contemporary baseball era ballot, along with 7 other players, including Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. I made a video about that the other day, talking about that. Don Mattingly is being reconsidered for the Hall of Fame after he wasn't initially on there on his first time on the original ballot. But still, Phillies are interested in bringing in Don Mattingly as their new bench coach. It would help the team overall. He has experience, again, plenty of experience as manager, as a coach, player, successful player. So he has a proven track record in Major League Baseball as a coach, as a player, and it could only help as a bench player, help Rob Thompson out with the coaching and all that kind of stuff, help with the players, and help this team really get to their ultimate goal of winning a World Series. It would be a tremendous hire. We'll see what happens on that front, but the Phillies are interested in him, and it could prove to be a very, very good move for the team moving forward, as is the bullpen. We all know the bullpen of the Phillies was a weakness for most of the 2025 season, pretty much all the 2025 season. It did get better after the trade deadline when they acquired Joan Duran from the Minnesota Twins. It kind of gave everybody a role in the bullpen. Didn't really have a set closer before that. Having that set closer allowed other guys to fall into setup roles and all that kind of stuff, 8th inning, 7th inning kind of guys behind Duran, or in front of Duran. So we all know what happened in the bullpen. It wasn't a great year. Got a little better as the season went on. Still not great, though, but could be a strength in 2026, and that starts with Jose Alvarado. The Phillies exercised Jose Alvarado's club option back on Wednesday. So that was $9 million for 2026. Now, that's a no-brainer. Getting a reliever like Jose Alvarado on a $9 million contract, you got to take that. They were just paying Jordan Romano $8.5 million this past year in 2024, and that was one of the worst pitching performances we've ever seen as a Philadelphia Philly. So $9 million for Jose Alvarado, that was a no-brainer. They got it done. He will be back in 2026. Now, we all know he was suspended for those 80 games this past year in 2025 for the PED use. He also was injured late in the season. Obviously, as part of the suspension, was not eligible to pitch in the playoffs for the Phillies. So we didn't see much of Jose Alvarado in 2025 because of all of that. But he had a 2.70 ERA before his suspension. Now, not great after the suspension when he returned and before he landed on the injured list to end the season. He allowed 5 earned runs and 6+ innings pitched after coming back from the suspension. So not great stuff, but Jose Alvarado, he had a 1.74 ERA back in 2023. He's 30 years old. He's had a lot of success with the Phillies over the years. We all know he's kind of a streaky reliever. He goes on those stretches where he's very erratic, very out of control. But when he's going good, he is among the best, if not the best, reliever in baseball, with reaching triple digits on his pitches, nasty off-speed pitches, nasty movement. Jose Alvarado, hard left-handed thrower. he is a great addition. Again, when he's going good, he is among the best in the entire Major League Baseball, not just the National League, in the bullpen. Now, with Alvarado back, we didn't get to see that duo of Duran and Alvarado too much. They're just a dominant, hard-throwing relievers to end some ball games for the Phillies. But now you can have Duran as the closer. You can have Jose Alvarado as the 8th inning guy. And that is just a very dominant, formidable duo, late inning, high leverage duo, hard throwing duo to end games. And it's going to be electric to see coming out of the Phillies bullpen in 2026. Might be one of the best back end of the bullpens the Phillies have had in a long time, maybe ever, especially recently. So it's going to be fun to see. They also have Matt Strahm, good lefty, all-star lefty. Tanner Banks, he's been really good for the Phillies. Another lefty, Ryan Kirkring. I know he made that play in the playoffs to end their season, but he's still a very good reliever for them as well and still very young and developing. He's a righty. So they might have it could be a strength in 2026 now with Alvarado back, having Duran, having these other 3 guys, among other guys. But you could look to even keep on adding pieces of the bullpen. Every Major League team's always looking to add to their bullpen. It's always hit or miss for all these teams. You're never going to have a great bullpen. You're never going to have it's just tough to have. Every team's always looking for extra arms. And that shouldn't stop the Phillies from going after a reliever and bullpen guy or 2 this free agency or via trade. But one name that stands out is Devin Williams. Should the Phillies go after Devin Williams in free agency? He's an interesting guy to look into. He's a 31-year-old free agent, right-handed reliever. He spent his first 6 years of his career with the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League. He was a 2-time All-Star, a 2-time NL Reliever of the Year, and he was the 2020 National League Rookie of the Year with the Brewers. He also had a career-high 36 saves with the Brewers back in 2023. Now, he had been a closer. He is pretty much a closer throughout his career, but he also isn't always a closer. He's also used in 7th, 8th innings, different leverage roles, different situations in games. He's not a necessarily quote-unquote full-time closer. He's pretty close to it, but he can pitch in other innings of a ball game. Now, after those 6 years with the Brewers, he was traded to the New York Yankees ahead of the 2025 season. Did not have a great year with the Yankees. He signed a 1-year, $8.6 million contract to avoid arbitration with the Yankees for the 2025 season. Again, not his best season, though. After moving on from the Brewers, tremendous there. Not great with the Yankees. 4-6 with a 4.79 ERA. That was the highest ERA of his career, really by far. He still had 90 strikeouts, though, 18 saves and 62 innings pitched with the Yankees. Wasn't a full-time closer there. He struggled throughout the season, so they kind of bumped him out of that role. He still had those 18 saves, so he still was used as a closer, but struggles nonetheless. He had pitched 4 scoreless innings in the Yankees playoff run in 2025. Short-lived playoff run for the Yankees, as was the Phillies. But he looked good in the playoffs. 4 scoreless innings. He is really still one of the better relievers in Major League Baseball. Career 2.45 ERA in his 7 seasons. 3 straight years with sub-2 ERAs in 2022, 2023, 2024, all with the Brewers. He had a 0.33 ERA in 27 innings pitched in the shortened COVID 2020 season, in which he won the National League Rookie of the Year award. Could sign a multi-year deal worth like $15 million or more in free agency. He could also look to sign a prove-it deal if teams are kind of weary about his tough year this past year in 2025 with the Yankees. Just almost a 5 ERA, not his best season. He is 31 years old now. He's getting up there in age, so they might not want to give that big commitment to him on multi-year deal, a big contract, a lot of money, if they think they don't really like what they saw in 2025, if you know what I mean. So that could end up making him sign a 1-year prove-it deal, and that could be a 1-year deal maybe worth like $10 million, which is a lot of money, but again, the Phillies gave a 1-year, $8.5 million deal to Jordan Romano this past year, and he was horrible, to say the least. Devin Williams, at least all-star. He's an incredible closer. He gets the job done. He's a big name. He's had a tremendous success in his career, and he could just make this Phillies bullpen so much better. So if he's looking to sign a multi-year, if teams are interested in that, then the Phillies should stay away, in my opinion, because they have other areas to focus on, especially with having Alvarado, Duran, Strahm, Tanner Banks, and Ryan Kirkring all in the bullpen already. But they could use an additional right-handed arm in addition to all those lefties that they have out there. And Devin Williams, if the price is right, could make perfect sense for the Phillies and really make this bullpen probably the best ever in Phillies history and one of the best bullpens in Major League Baseball on paper heading into the 2026 season. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Henley. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Again, free agency officially started last night on Thursday, so a lot to talk about. A lot of rumors are going to be swirling around not just the Phillies, around Major League Baseball, whether it's free agency, whether it's trades. So stay tuned with us here on Phillies Daily. I will be talking about all the big rumors and everything, all the breaking news, everything going on involving the Philadelphia Phillies. Again, thank you guys for watching, and as always, go Phils.